friends, welcome back to Give It a Go Garden. This is the channel where I take you along on my gardening adventures, some successful, some not too much, but we're always just giving it a go. So today I'm really excited because we are going to do an early summer garden tour. We had a really successful spring, learned a lot, did a lot, and now that we're starting to enter the beginning of the hot summer, I just kind of wanted to take you around the garden, show you what I'm thinking, what has worked, what has not worked. There's a couple, and hopefully this gives you a bit of inspiration for your garden. So I thought we would start our tour at the front and show off how our front planter box is doing. The petunias we planted are doing really well and they're starting to fill in, which is awesome. I did go ahead and buy a sweet potato vine because in my mind I would like them to trail over. You may notice that trailing things are a theme in this garden. Kind of some good luck with the marigolds. We've got about 6 of them popping up. But I mean, nothing in the calendulas. Not a thing. Asters, we got one right there, 2, and a 3rd. I don't know if it was user error. I have gone in and I have popped in a couple more just to see if something will happen, but still waiting on this side. But over here, our zinnias are crushing it. They're doing so well. I haven't decided if I'm gonna go in and like thin them out or move them. This row in particular is really close together, but I don't know, part of me just kind of wants to see how they grow. Also Brad just wants to just leave it. And then our bachelor buttons and cosmos, we've got some growth there. So overall, I would say success. It's coming together. So definitely depending where I'm standing in the garden, that dictates what's my favorite plant. Right now we're in the front, and you guys, let me show you these planter boxes that we filled early in the season. I mean, are you kidding me? They've only been planted for about 2 months. So this is how they look like now. Imagine what they're gonna look like in another 2 months. But everything is doing so well. Everything is kind of like cascading over, which is what I was hoping would happen. I'm so happy. So here's an update on our shade planter box. I made a video about it earlier on in the season. Our impatiens are just crushing it. Those are the purple flowers. I'm kind of swallowing the petunias. We've got a couple kind of still popping out, but the begonias in the back, those white ones there and there, I mean, I think pretty soon the impatiens will win out, and they might even take over the jacone grass that's in the back. I was kind of hoping the jacone grass would be a bit taller, but you know, there's still time. We'll see in a couple of weeks how much bigger this grows, but I'm pretty thrilled with how it looks. So not much has changed from this back area. We keep it pretty open. This area really struggles with weeds. I have to really stay on top of the weeding. Definitely the best thing I ever did was put this rug down to just smother the majority of them. I'd love to add a little bit more color, but maybe that'll be a end of summer addition. So these roses have been just such joy this season. Their first sort of flush of blooms was so beautiful. We enjoyed them so much. I have gone in and I've deadheaded the majority, and already we're seeing kind of another flush of buds and blooms. And I do think that the training them across is working, which is exciting. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I have just been loving these flowers. I just think they're so beautiful. You guys, the bees have just been loving this plant. I always see bumblebees, and it just makes my heart so happy. Look how happy they are. You get that pollen. You go. So underneath the roses, this section of the garden, it's performing pretty interesting this this part of the season. Our pansies are still crushing it, which I mean, good for them. The sun patience and the petunias, I would have expected them to be a bit bigger. The petunias are the same variety that we have at the front, so those are doing much better. So I'm not really sure what's going on back here. Maybe it's not enough sun, but our hydrangea, oh my goodness, you guys, this is one of those varieties that you get at like a big box store, the blue ones, which I didn't realize were just so challenging to grow, but I am so excited. Look at these blooms. Looks so good. So hopefully that just keeps going and the sun patience and petunias catch up. So I haven't mentioned it yet, but I did go in and add a layer of mulch throughout the garden, which I think makes a world of difference, and particularly in this section. So this is where we have our Hosta and our black-eyed Susan, and most recently we just planted some geraniums that I got from a friend. Everything seems to be doing okay. I think it just needs a little bit more time. And I'm really excited with how the Hosta looks. I just think that looks so cool. So our lilacs have done okay since we've trimmed them. I was dealing with some spider mites that I saw. But on this far one over here, I saw some ladybugs recently, so that's encouraging. I haven't seen any spider mites in the last couple days. Still a lot of discoloration. So I think they're alive, but I guess we'll see next year if they bloom. But I am really happy I was able to cut them back because I think overall it looks a lot better, especially now that the mulch is down. My goodness, mulch always, for reals. So this side of the garden has been a bit challenging. Once again, the petunias, I had really good luck with them last summer. They were this spreading variety, but I mean this guy, there's nothing of you left. Oh yeah, something is definitely eating you, but what? How are you guys doing? Oh, being eaten as well. My goodness, who's eating you? So yeah, I have dealt with aphids, and I have dealt with spider mites, and I have dealt with molding. Hello, mold. Why? Why are you here? So bring on whatever's next. So I'll just keep an eye on this, but you know, we've got a new bloom for our rose, so we're doing something right. And I mean, this hydrangea is just absolutely crushing it. I will say they take a lot of water, so I find myself just standing here with the hose, but the results are so beautiful and happy to do it. So this side of the garden, it's really coming together. I'm hoping that there will be a little bit more height once these dahlias start growing. But overall, I'm really excited with how it's turning out, and I think Nico likes it too. So over here we have our Hosta. It's shooting up some blooms, so that'll be great to see. Our Dahlia crushing it. We just planted this Dahlia. Unfortunately, I don't think my one I wintered over is gonna make it. Yep, I don't think it's coming. So I will go in and deadhead this one, but I just kind of wanted to show off what the blooms look like. I think it's gonna be just a beautiful show. This Dahlia plant, we are dealing with some mold issues. You can kind of see it. I don't anticipate that impacting the blooms, but because it's got so many buds, it's really doing well. So hopefully the mold doesn't impact it. You guys, these poppies are my absolute pride and joy. It's easily the coolest thing I have ever grown, and I'm definitely going to try and figure out how to save the seeds. I love them so much. And then of course our yellow plant, just overall crushing it. Not bad for free. Hello. I kind of jumped over the milkweed. So to be honest, not a huge fan of how it looks. I think it's kind of ugly, but so helpful for pollinators. Now I have 3 stalks here. I've heard that milkweed is pretty aggressive. They spread through underground runners. So I'm gonna leave them, these 3 this year. I've heard that once they're finished blooming and once you have monarch butterflies and it's just all beautiful, you should pull them. But I'll do a bit more research about that. But for now, it's giving some good height. Not my favorite, but I understand the importance. So this is an angle I haven't really shown before. In a previous video, I built up this planter box, which, gotta be honest, I'm not loving still. I was definitely getting impatient, and I added these Dusty Miller's annuals just because I wanted it to be fuller. I mean, when you compare the front planter box with this one, you're just kind of like, come on. So hopefully in a couple of weeks it'll fill out. But this area turned out to be kind of a surprise. It was just all these extra plants that I had or I found on the 88-cent clearance. So overall, I think this whole thing maybe cost me like $3, and I just think it looks so cute. One thing to note, I don't think these dianthus in these containers really are alive. They should look like that. Or that. Yeah, no way. Just wanted to take a moment and shout out this planter. It is doing really well. Initially when I planted it, I didn't realize that there weren't any drainage holes. So all of a sudden, it was so waterlogged. As soon as we drilled a hole, all this water came rushing out, and I'm really excited to see that the plants are rebounded. I love this planter. I think it just looks so sweet, and now that some patients are blooming, it looks so nice. I'm really happy with this combination. So our other planters are doing pretty good. Still waiting for them to fill out a little bit more. You can see the creeping Jenny is starting to fall over, and kind of on this side too. Our sun patients are doing really well, and our dianthus in this one is doing pretty good too. So pretty happy with how this all looks. You know, I don't have a huge backyard. You know, I definitely am grateful for the backyard that I have, but I think the ability to use planters can really brighten up a space and just give me more room to plant. So I'm just really proud with how the garden is turning out. I think I've learned a lot, you know, in just such a short time. The fact that it's mid-season and things are doing really well, I'm just really excited to see them grow. And yeah, I'm just really proud of how the garden is looking, how it's turning out. You know, there's things that I'm still figuring out, mostly how to navigate bugs safely, and making sure that the flowers are okay too, but so are the pollinators. And yeah, I've really enjoyed this process of filming and documenting it for you guys, and just thank you guys so much for all of the likes and support and comments. It really means a lot, and I've enjoyed it so much. And yeah, it's my favorite place to be, is the garden. So there you guys have it. That's what my garden is looking like just at the beginning of the summer. If you haven't, please consider liking and subscribing. Hopefully this encourages you guys to just go out there and just give it a go. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.